Here's the bigger pond I built. We were just back there by that tree looking at my silt pond. So what was happening, we'll take a swing of this. I spread some hay out here. What was happening, see this green strip between me and the gator? That's a waterway. So here in Kansas, at least in our area, the soil is super loamy. It's like perfect soil, but it erodes really bad, especially if you plow it. So what the old farmers did was they built terraces across to slow the water down and bring it over. My hand's messing the camera up. They bring it over and they dump it in a waterway that was all grass. And that would slow the water down enough with the terraces and everything that when it rained a bunch, they could get their water away without washing the field out. But if you don't keep them up, you end up and you keep plowing, and because I mean you get wind erosion too with this stuff. This stuff will blow away. So the sides of their waterway would end up being like a water slide, and none of the water could get in anymore. So then it would wash. Come over here. I kind of fixed it, but it would end up washing through here. All that dirt I pushed was filling in like a 3-foot deep gully. Some places it was like 6 foot deep, and it would go down the outside, and it was just washing the field away as fast as it could. So I went up there. We built a little pond up there to catch a bunch of silt from the neighbors and stuff and start the water slowing down and get it out from underneath the bridge. Just a little culvert bridge. And then the water's supposed to go in the waterway, but it was all going over here. You can see where the pond is longer. That's where all the water was running. So it would be dumb to build the new pond over here in the waterway when all the water wants to be over here. So I just said, forget this part of the waterway. I'm gonna make this the new waterway and fix up that washout. We'll just make the waterway way wider. And I came to the lowest part where the washout was the worst, and I dug a huge pond. I mean, it's not huge. It looks huge on the camera, but it would take 2 days with a bulldozer. And I pushed all the dirt up here, made a dam so it's even bigger. And so now all the water comes off the neighbors, goes into Little Pond, comes over the top of the Little Pond, which is real flat, it doesn't actually have a dam, runs down, runs into where it wants to be, into let's call it the new waterway, where it had been washing out. And then it comes into this pond. And it's kind of a dead end right there. But I don't want my new pond to wash out. So I graded this dam real careful and made sure that it was way higher than everything else. And I cut out right here. So now the water comes down that waterway into this pond, fills the pond up. When the pond gets full, it backs water back up the waterway. When it gets full enough, it'll come out this part here and jump into the old waterway where it's supposed to be, that has all the grass and everything in it. And we'll get this all planted in grass too, and then it heads off down the old waterway where it's supposed to be again. So I used a pond to get the elevation up again to get back in the old waterway, and we saved a ton of water. I don't know how many gallons that is, but it would be all down there in the creek if we hadn't caught it. So I just wished I'd built this pond 3 times as big, but I only had so much time, and you don't want to have a pond half built and it rained. So this can't really wash out because there's all the water velocity is going this way, so it has to pool up before it can come this way, and there's nothing to cut. I mean, that water's only a foot deep, and it comes up about a foot, and then it'll just flow real even over. And that's how wide the dozer blade is from here to there, and that's flat, so it runs over evenly. We'll get this all grassed, but like I said, I only built this pond like a week ago, and it's already clear full. So I need to do a little more work on the dam because it settled some, but that's supposed to be all uphill. There's no low spot all the way up there. And then I pushed a bunch of dirt up there, right in that spot, so that water will come down in and go into the pond instead of going that way. We want to keep all the water as high on our land as we can. So this is keeping me busy. I won't be able to push dirt for probably a couple more days. I'm really tempted to jump in the dozer and take off, but I'm afraid I'm gonna get stuck somewhere. So you can see how much water we lost still. So I'm gonna build a big pond further down there that hopefully catch everything so we don't have any runoff. But there we go.